श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानश्चन्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम श्री शंकराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।
नमस्ते महोदय। अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी।
श्री भगवानुवाच मया
प्रसन्नेन तवार्जुनेदम्
मया प्रसन्नेन तवार्जुनेदं रूपं परं दर्शितमात्मयोगात् तेजोमयविश्वमनन्तमाद्यं यन्मे त्वदन्येन न दृष्टपूर्वम् न दृष्टपूर्वम्।
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी।
न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहन्नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीरा।
मृणालिनी गोपालन भगिनी।
मा ते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावः दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीदृङ्ममेदम् व्यापेतभिः प्रीतमानः पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य।
The last two lines, please.
व्यापेतभिः प्रीतमानः पुनस्त्वं तदेव
not vyapedabhi vyapedabhi. Then not pritamana pritamana manas.
Okay Mahodaya, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
व्यापेतभिः प्रीतमनः पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य।
Good.
ललिता भगिनी।
इत्यर्जुनौ वासुदेवस्तथोक्त्वा Yes, sir. Sorry. Sanjay उवाच इत्यर्जुनौ वासुदेवस्तथोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा।
Good.
शरद चवन महोदय।
अर्जुन उवाच दृष्टवेदं मानुषं रूपं त्वस्तव सौम्य जनार्दन इदानीमस्मिन् संवृत्तं सचेताः प्रकृतिर्गतः।
Okay, there are some corrections are required. Anyhow,
yes,
you will be able to chant it well. One more person, the same shloka, please.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं तवै सौम्यं
No. अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं तव सौम्यं जनार्दन इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः सचेताः प्रकृतिं गतः.
अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं तव सौम्यं जनार्दन इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः सचेता प्रकृतिं गतः.
The thing is, from previous shloka to now, we are changing over from Trishtup meter to Anushtup meter. So you have to be conscious about that. Otherwise, the tendency will be that you
Yes,
continue with the earlier format. So you have to be just conscious. You will be all right. Okay.
Okay, Mahodaya.
Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
श्रीभगवानुवाच सुदुर्दर्शमिदं रूपं दृष्टवानसि यन्मम देवा अप्यस्य रूपस्य नित्यं दर्शनकाङ्क्षिणः.
Good. So we did up to this shloka yesterday. We'll continue with the balanced shlokas of this chapter today. Okay. Next.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Nahau vedairna tapasa.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा
न दानेन न चेज्यया.
न दानेन न चेज्यया न दानेन न चेज्यया
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया.
Good. Next.
Veena Phanishri Bhagini.
शक्य एवौ विदो द्रष्टुम्.
शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम्. शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम्. शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम्.
दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
दृष्टवानसि मां यथा. दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम्. दृष्टवानसि मां यथा. शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम्. दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया. नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
नमस्ते महोदय. शक्य एवं विधो द्रष्टुं दृष्टवानसि मां यथा. शक्य एवं विधो द्रष्टुं दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
What you chanted correctly, that evam vido is also correct. You can also try evav vido.
Yes, sir, that combination.
Yeah, that I think.
have to.
Yeah, even I also have the same challenge, but I'm trying to correct myself. But both are correct. If you look at some of the people, they chant, some of the learned people also, they chant like this, evam vido only. No problem, but you can try shakya evam vido drashtum drashtavanasi mayatha.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Eva vido.
Correct. Instead of yum, you put you, because the next word is va, p. Vido, vam, vido, vav, vido.
Vavvido. Okay, sir.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Naho vedairna tapasa nadanena na chejaya shakya eva vidho drashtum drishtavanasi mayatha.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया शक्य एवौ विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मायथा.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
Full shloka.
नाहो वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन चेज्जया शक्य एव विदो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मायता.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया शक्य एव विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मायथा.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्जया शक्य एव विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मायथा.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया शक्य एवं विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
Okay. Drashtum. Next is drishtavanasi.
Repeat, sir.
Shakya eva vido drashtum drishtavanasi mayata.
Okay, sir. शक्य एवं विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
नाहौ वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्यया शक्य एव विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मायथा.
Sakya eva vido drashtum drishtavanasi mayata. First is dra, next is dhru.
शक्य एव विधो द्रष्टुम् दृष्टवानसि मायथा.
Okay. So what Bhagavan is telling in this shloka is that Yata mam drishtavanasi, the last second line, the way I have given Vishwarupa Darshanam to you, Yata mam drishtavanasi, that particular kind of thing, na shakyam evam vida drashtum, it is not possible to see in that particular form, na shakya evam vidaha, okay, aham vedairna, not just because somebody is doing Veda or tapas or even doing charity or ijjaya, nacha ijjaya. Ijjaya means it's all a kind of a smartha karmas. Okay, so whether you do dana, there was one shloka that is 48 is almost similar to this. You see this? Na veda yagyat yajanair nadhanaihi na chakriya birna tapo birugraihi evam rupa shakyam aham druloke drashtum tvadanyena kuru pravira. He has already told you will not be able to see this kind of a rupam of me which has been seen by you and not by anybody else in this human, that is manusya loka duloke evam rupya shakya. It is not possible by Veda adhyayanam or yajna adhyayanam or danam or kiyabhi or karma yoga or even by tapo, by doing austerities. He has already told that once in this shloka 48. Same thing he is repeating in a different way. That's it. There's no other difference to this particular shloka in terms of what he wants to communicate. But why he is making this statement is that he wants to once again re-emphasize to Arjuna that All these things are good. Veda, Ajnayanam, or tapas, or charity, everything is very good. But at the end of the day, when compared to what is required for one to achieve in terms of moksha, there is a limitation in those kinds of things that is going to, that there will be a slight limitation in what they can provide a person to. Okay, so there is to be a need for a ananya bhakti. That's what he's going to now start talking. So he's laying the foundation for him that ananya bhakti, in front of that, all these things are a bit lower than that. So that is the kind of meaning he is giving. It is the same meaning that we had in the Shloka number 48 also. I think some many of you might have been visiting temples right in the morning or in the evening also at the time of Deeparadhana, right? At the time of Deeparadhana, they also chant a similar kind of sloka. They say this Raja di Rajaya Prasakti Shakinehe, that particular thing they do. Okay, and then na karmana na prajayadanena tyage naike amritatva manasho pare nanakam nihitam guhayam vibrajate yatyo vishante vedanta vijnana sunichidartaha sanyasa yogat yadaya shuddha sattvaha te brahma loketu paraham takale parabrudat paribhushyanti sarve. That particular thing, every time at the time of Mahadeeparthana, most of the temples who are having the kind of Vedic priest, they chant this mantra. I am sure most of you have also heard this one. That also again says this, na karmana, na prajaya, na dhane, na tyage naiki amritatva manashu. So at the end of the day, he says that only by giving up, tyagam, is only a person will be able to achieve immortality. And that is told everything, every time when the Deeparadhana takes place in most of the temples, you will find that this sloka is chanted. Veda, यो वेदादौ स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः स ब्रह्म स शिवः स हरिः सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् हृदयं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलं. These things and all they chant after doing the Mahadeeparadhana. And that also they say sa brahma, sa shiva, sa brahma, sa shiva, sa hari. So that who is that sa? That Atma myself. Even when they are doing this Aradhana at the temple, they still make this particular sloka. I think next time when you go, you just be very watchful, close to the, after Deeparadhana, some series of slokas will be chanted, and this is one of them, and I'm sure most of you also would have heard this sloka, this mantra which is being chanted in the temples. Next, now he had laid a foundation. Na aham vedehi, na tapasa, na dhanena, nacha ijjaya. Ijjaya is smarta karmas. There is Sauta karma and smarta karma. We have discussed about it around 1.5 months back. Vedic rituals are different, and smarta karmas, like the way we do puja and other kinds of the regular things and the rituals of the home, that is called ijjaya. That is another kind of yajna, but it is a smarta karma which all of us do. So whether it is by smarta karma or by Sauta karma or by any one of these things, it is not possible to get me. And then he continues to this sloka.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah.
Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah.
Ahamevau vidorjuna.
Ahamevau vidorjuna. Ahamevau vidorjuna.
Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah. Ahamevau vidorjuna.
Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah.
Bhaktya tu ananyaya. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakyah.
Yes, sir. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah. Ahamevau vidorjuna.
Juna.
Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah. Ahamevau vidorjuna. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah. Ahamevau vidorjuna.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Jnatun drushtun cha tatvena.
Jnatun drushtun cha tatvena. Jnatun drushtun cha tatvena.
Praveštun cha परन्तप
प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
ज्ञातुं ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
Good. Next.
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विधोऽर्जुन
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन
Good. Next.
राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी
ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेशष्टुं च
प्रवेष्टुं च तत् परन्तप
ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेशष्टुं च
प्रवेष्टुं
इंच सर प्रवेशुंच
correct प्रवेष्टुं च
okay
correct so
sir it is drashtum or drushtum sir
this is drushtum
drushtum
Dhru.
okay ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेशष्टुं च परन्तप
प्रवेष्टुं च that's not praveshtantum praveshtuं च
ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेशष्टुं च
ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
प्रवेष्टुंच न प्रवेश
yeah, but you are not telling pravesh you say praveshtantum you are telling something like that praveshattum something
okay I'll remove it.
yeah you are putting one more sha there and one more ta there in sometimes yeah
ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेशष्टुं च परन्तप
praveshattum you are telling praveshtuं च तत्पथ परन्तप
प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
you did not chant drushtum you chanted drashtum
okay oh last one more chance sir
yeah,
ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
correct good
thank you sir thank you
next
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
good next
भानुरेखा भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
next
शीला शिंदे भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विधोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
good next
अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
Okay. I heard it as drushtum. Drushtum.
द्रष्टुं
Dhru.
द्रष्टुं द्रष्टुं
Yes.
ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
I find in my book as drashtum, not drushtum. I'm just checking it out.
द्रष्टुं
This is looking like dhru for me.
yes in this
The book is
Dhru is
Drashtum,
there.
sir.
I think
In
drashtum is
book
correct.
Drashtum,
I'm
Drashtum.
sorry about this, na?
Sir,
This
even
is
in the material that was given, it is drashtum.
yeah, drashtum is correct. Yeah, this, I'm finding dhru and I was confused when I just look at my book. It's drashtum chatvena. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Drashtum.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this. I think I confused all of you. It is drashtum. Dra should look like this one. I'll show you this. This is the drashtum you see here.
Yes.
Shakya evam vido drashtum, no? That is the correct dra. The same drashtum should come here also. There is a mistake. I'm sorry about this. Okay. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी भानुरेखा भगिनी
यस मैम भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
Good. Next.
काश्मीरा भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विधोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
Good. Next, one more person.
वीणा फालिश्री भगिनी
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेव विधोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप
So we'll go to the meaning of this shloka. We'll have to take it as a continuation of the previous shloka. Like, na aham vedai, na tapasa, na dhanena, na chejjaya, shakyah evam vidaha. Okay, whatever I am showing you, Drattabhanasi. So he say that from any one of these spiritual sadhanas, na shakyah aham evam vidaha. It is not possible for people to see me in the way I have shown you Vishwarupa Darshanam. And he continues, Bhaktya. It is not possible to do by dana, etc., etc. Bhaktya, with bhakti. Then Ananyaya Bhakti. What is Ananyaya Bhakti? Ananya Bhakti means that you are not going to get distracted with multiple things and you are always going to have a single Bhakti. Okay. Now the question arises whether Arjuna should only worship Ishvara, worship Lord Krishna because he is standing in front of him. So one has to understand whether it is going to be a Krishna or Rama or Ganesha or Kali or Lakshmi, anything can be okay. But what happens is that in the Vishwarupa Darshanam, Bhagavan has shown that everything is only him. So if it is going to be Shankara, it is him. Hanuman is going to be him. Raman, it is going to be him. Depending upon who is your Ishta Devata and whichever form you feel that I want to get connected to the God, with a very clear understanding that I am seeing him in the Vasudeva Krishna form, but he is actually the Nirguna Parabrahma Ishvara, which is everything. With that understanding. So with that understanding, if you are able to see any God, with knowing that it is the same Nirguna Brahman or that particular Ishvara, that what is that? Vishwarupa Ishvara, one day I am seeing, that understanding is required. That is the Ananya Bhakti. So it is not necessary that somebody should not get confused that I should worship Rama, I am only worshipping Rama, I am not worshipping Ishvara. All those things are fine. You have to have this understanding that the Rupam that you are seeing is only for you to have a Alambanam. You have to get connected. Arjuna is not getting connected to the Vishwarupa of Bhagavan. Arjuna is still not able to have the Nirguna Brahman Bhakti. We will be talking about that. So for him, it was only Vishnu he is able to connect to, and now he is also able to connect to Lord Krishna and Vasudeva Krishna form. So he says that if you find that this is okay with you, please have Ananya Bhakti with a clear understanding that your bhakti is towards Ishvara. That is the most important thing. So the question does not arise whether you have to start worshipping Rama or Krishna or Ishvara or anything. You can worship any god. Upasana or worshipping or meditating upon any god is okay with the understanding that the same god is the Ishvara, or Parameshvara, or Nirguna Brahman. It is like in a kind of a school drama, your child is participating. 1 year, the child is going to be having a dress of Ganesha. Next year, she wears about Krishna, or the dress of Krishna. Following year, Draupadi. Every year, she changes her dress and she's appearing in the drama. But you, as a parent, you know it is my daughter. So you have to understand that whether it's going to be Krishna form or this thing, any form, is the same Ishvara. But for my convenience, I like this form. That is understanding one we need to have. That done with that kind of bhakti, you get connected to that specific form. That is Saguna Brahman. That becomes Ananyaya Bhakti. Okay, one. The other thing is, the other example I can also tell is that whatever kind of food you have, you may have a choice. I have a choice of eating rice. Somebody may have a choice of eating chapati. Somebody else may have non-vegetarian food also. It's okay. But at the end of the day, when we all understand the food I am eating is only going to be ultimately broken down into proteins and nutrients and vitamins inside the body for sustenance of the body. So whichever way I take is immaterial. I need to have a quota of vitamins and proteins and this, which I am taking in this form. So that becomes ultimate. Similarly, ultimate is Ishvara. Whichever way you are going to worship is immaterial, provided you understand that I am getting connected to the Vishwarupa, Parabrahma, Nirguna Brahma, Ishvara. That is the most important understanding we need to have. Bhaktya, Tvananya, Shaktya. He says that this Vishwarupa form, whatever has been shown, is possible by bhakti. He is introducing a very important concept of bhakti. Shakya, aham evam vidaha Arjuna. This particular form is possible only through bhakti. Then Jnatum, it is possible to know. Jnatum Tattvena, it is possible to know the Vishwarupa Ishvara in reality. So by bhakti only, they will be able to understand it in reality, Jnatum. And bhakti only, Drashtum. It is possible to see. So by bhakti, it is possible to say Vishwarupa Darshanam. By bhakti, it is also possible to understand the reality and also know the Bhagavan that is there in the Vishwarupa Darshanam. Okay. And then what was happening to Arjuna was that he was looking at Vishwarupa Darshanam and he saw everything except himself. He did not see him to be a part of that. And so what was happening was that he is here, Bhagavan is there. I am here, Bhagavan is in the temple, Bhagavan is in the puja room. That is the way he was continuing to have. But what here Bhagavan says is that Praveshtum, he says that you will be able to enter into that also. Because Arjuna was not entering. He was keeping himself as a jiva and Bhagavan is different. So he says that with bhakti, it is possible for you to know, to see, and to see that know the reality. Tattvam, also drashtum. You can see the reality and also you can enter into that reality because you are a part of Vishwarupa. You are a part of Bhagavan. Your Amsa is only Bhagavan. That is the message that is giving in this. Bhaktya Tvananya Shakyah Aham Evam Vidaha Arjuna Jnatum Drashtum Cha Tattvena Praveshtum Cha Parantapa, because he did not see himself with the Bhagavan. He was still continuing to think that he is different. Okay. So this is the meaning of this shloka. So now we come to the last shloka of this chapter. Who is coming?
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Mat karma mat paramaha.
Mat karma mat paramaha. Mat karma mat paramaha.
Mad bhakta sangha varjitaha.
Mad bhakta sangha varjitaha. Mad bhakta sangha varjitaha.
Mat karma mat paramaha. Mad bhakta sangha varjitaha.
Mat मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः
Next.
ललिता भगिनी
निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु
निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु
यः स मामेति पाण्डव
यः स मामेति पाण्डव यः स मामेति पाण्डव
निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
Next.
श्रीलक्ष्मी भगिनी
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः
मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः
मद्भक्तसङ्गवर्जितः मद्भक्तसङ्गवर्जितः
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तसङ्गवर्जितः मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तसङ्गवर्जितः
Good. Next.
श्रीमती भगिनी
वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
Next.
कृष्णपावनी भगिनी
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
Good. Next.
शरद चवन महोदय
Full shloka slowly.
यत् कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
I think what you do
मत्कर्म
is, Sharad Chavanji, you take
yes, sir.
in your book that you have, you try to mark where you may have to stop. For example, Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu is one pada. Yasa
Okay,
Mami Pandava is another pada. So when you chant Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu Yaha, meter will get impacted.
Okay, sir.
You just mark it down. It will be easy. Okay, one. Second thing, it is not Yat Karma, it is Mat Karma.
Mat karma, yes.
I heard it as Yat Karma. So that is.
No, sir.
You just
Okay.
put it down so that you will not spill over in terms of the pada that you need to chant.
Okay, okay, sir.
Next.
Mat
राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव
Next.
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः समामेति पाण्डव.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini. Okay, she's not there. Okay, Sheila Shinde Bagini.
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi Bibi Bagini.
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तसङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव.
Good. One more person.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमः मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः समामेति पाण्डव.
Good. So this particular shloka is laying the foundation for the next chapter, 12th chapter. Okay, one. And secondly, this shloka is also loaded with a lot of meaning, which summarizes everything that you have learned in Bhagavad Gita as of now. So I was just thinking that it is better that I may have to give a summary as of now, so that we'll have a clear understanding of what is that Bhagavan is telling in this shloka, and how does this lead to Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga is going to be the culmination of the Tat principle. In Tattvamasi, we have discussed about Tvam Pada, the Tvam principle from this chapter number 1 to 6, or rather 2 to 6. And then 7 to 12, we'll be start reading about Tat principle, the Bhagavan principle. And the last 6 chapter is going to only talk about how we both are equal. But this shloka, I realized that when I was reading literatures, it is a shloka which is loaded with lot of things, which is also summarizing everything and taking it forward in terms of the 12th chapter, which is Bhakti Yoga. So I will be now transitioning out from this slide and sharing with you something else, which I just thought it will be very interesting, it will put all these things in a good perspective. We had a lot of jigsaw puzzles. I found that, that will put everything into one better perspective. So I am slightly moving out from this. I'm going to share whatever I want to share with you all. Okay, Kanchana Bhagini? Is everybody there?
Yes, Mahodaya. It's tilted, Mahodaya.
We are all here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 second. It'll take some 10-15 minutes of discussion, but I thought it's really worth it. You could see this?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Okay. Now we all know the Purusharthas, the goal of life. We are all born as human beings and not as animals. So as a part of a human being, Bhagavan has given this particular Janma to us with this particular form. And we have got to understand what is the reason why Bhagavan has given this life. So if you look at the goal of life is summarized as Purusharthas, Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. That's what we have talked about. So, but actual way it is to be looked into is, first is Kama, Artha, Dharma, and Moksha. This is the 4. If you look at that way, if you look at anybody, if you talk to them and ask you what is the purpose of your life, whatever they say will ultimately fall into one of these buckets, one of these 4 bullet points, Kama or Artha. They'll go after their desires, or they will go after the material things in their life, or they may start looking at Dharma and charity, etc. Or somebody will say, I am going to only pursue Moksha because Jantunam Narajanmam Durlabam. So I may have to understand how I come out of this particular life, and then I become one with the Bhagavan. So when you look at Kama and Artha, is a worldly pursuit. The worldly pursuit that all of us have been in. We were studying, we went to our college, we went to a job, we purchased a car, we purchased a house, we got married, we had children. It's all worldly pursuit, perfectly fine. Bhagavan says there's nothing wrong in that. Then, what is the purpose? When you have worldly pursuits, you are able to see the thing fully. Janma karma is available to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
what
sir.
happens is that you continue to do, you are continuously going to be getting born, you do karma, then good. I'm talking about people who are doing good things, It's not that somebody is doing dushtutino nahi. It is all people who are doing good things in life, good karmas. And they are also doing artha and kama, they are pursuing in a rightful manner, with a dharmic manner. So still what happens is that the papa punyas will ensure that they are going to have a janma, karma will be there. They'll be again born, janma, then they'll do all the karmas, then again they'll die, the body will fall. Based on punya karmas and other things, they'll again be born, this cycle goes on. And then if you look at dharma, dharma is done for the sake of punya. At the end of the day, when you do charity, charity will only give you punya. Punya also, we have studied in the 8th chapter, we say it was told that we go up to Brahma Lokam, then Te Punya Vasadya Surendra Lokam, then we come back to Martya Lokam, we come back to human life. So even with Dharma, you again go up and down only. You go up to Brahma Lokam and come back, because it is not moksha, because you will enjoy the punya at the Brahma Lokam and again come back. So kama, artha, dharma, all these three purusharthas will only make an individual or jiva to keep getting born and then doing karma and then cycle of birth and death. And only moksha will be able to provide liberation and enlightenment. Okay. So if you all decide that my purpose of life is going to be on the purushartha of moksha, then we have to start reading Vedantas or Gita, which is a moksha shastra. If you look at that, Gita shastra is also a moksha sadhana. It is also helping you in terms of coming out of cycle of life and death. Okay, so this is becoming a moksha sadhanam. Now, if you look at again bhakti also, when you look at, we are going to go to the next chapter is bhakti. When you look at this bhakti we studied in that chapter on 6th chapter or 7th chapter, I don't remember that. 7th chapter, I think, Shloka 16. Chaudharvida bhajante mam jana sukritinojuna artho jignasurartharthi jnani cha bharadarshava. In this, Arti is the person, which we discussed yesterday also, he prays to God only when he is in distress. So he wants to have a nivritti. Nivrityartham, he will be doing prayers to God. I have stomachache, it should be okay. I have got this major illness, I want this to go away. Only when we find that nobody else can help, doctor cannot help, medicine cannot help, he'll go to God. When he finds that he's got stranded in a place and he does not know what to do, he's afraid, then he'll go to God. So his prayer to the God comes to him only when he is in distress. But he is a nice person, Sukritino Arjuna, he is a good person only. But the only thing is that God is in the last list of priorities for him. Then the other person is called Artharthi. Artharthi will always pray to God for fulfilling personal desires of Kama. So he wants to prapyam, udyoga praptirastu or graha praptirastu. He wants to have a lot of things to be accumulated or achieved in life. So Artharthi always prays to God for fulfilling personal desires. I want to get that particular job. I want to get to the so-and-so country and settle down. I want this to happen. So we have some kind of a requirement which is to fulfill our desire, and then we go to God. And primarily with fulfilling some of our desires to be taken care of. So that is called Artharthi. The fourth person is Jignasu, who is a striver for getting jnana. Now, fourth one is Jnani. Jnani is enlightened person, and he knows that he is the same Aham Brahmasmi is known to him. So he is not going to be really worried about all these things. Whatever happens, it is just going to be, it's all happening. He'll be only just be indifferent to anything that is happening. Though he'll be in this body, he'll be going around in this world. But now, if at all we are all going to be looking at moksha to be one of the purusharthas that we need to pursue, then we all become jignasu. Jignasu means that we want to strive for the jnana so that I am able to gain moksha. And I know that the three purusharthas, the dharma, artha, kama, will not take me to moksha. For moksha, I need to be a jignasu who has got to strive for getting jnana. So this is the focus. Now, when you look at Bhakti Yoga, why I am telling about this is that Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavan is now assuming that all of us are jignasu. So he is going to talk to us in the platform that we are all students of Vedanta, and we have to be taught about what is Bhakti Yoga in that perspective. So the focus is going to be Bhakti Yoga for jignasus like all of us. Okay. Next, this is the shloka that we did. right? Mat karma kran mat paramaha mat bhaktah samgavarjitah nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yassa bhameti pandava. So Shloka 1155 is the seed verse, as I told you, for chapter 12, that is Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti is not a particular sadhana. It is just not a simple sadhana. And it is a range of sadhanas that will lead a person to Bhakti, that will lead a person to moksha. Okay. So now we also have to understand one more thing. If you look at moksha, there are only two lifestyles possible. The one lifestyle is karma yoga, is one's lifestyle. The other lifestyle is only jnana yoga, or jnana yoga, right? So karma yoga, and jnana yoga are the two lifestyles that one needs to have. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. Karma yoga and sannyasa yoga are the two lifestyles. But karma yoga and sannyasa yoga will merge at a place where the mind is fully prepared for the jnana to come in. That is the jnana yoga to come in. So the lifestyle that is possible is only karma yoga and sannyasa yoga. So we need to decide what kind of yoga, path that we need to have. And as a kind of samsara people, we have got family and lot of responsibilities. We all look at karma yoga as the best option for us. We cannot leave our family, wear a orange robe and go and sit in Rishikesh, etc. So we are all going to be karma yogis only. Okay. So now, just 1 second. This. Okay. The next one is that bhakti for jignasu. Now we are looking at bhakti. So bhakti for jignasu, or the bhakti for the person who is striving for jnana, it can be classified into three major buckets. One is karma lakshana bhakti, second is upasana rupa bhakti, and third one is jnana lakshana bhakti. So these are the three bhakti that one has to pursue. 1 second, there's some problem with the screen that I'm seeing is very funny. I may have to manage it properly. Okay. Okay, let me continue with this. So karma lakshana bhakti, upasana rupa bhakti, jnana lakshana bhakti. So let us try to understand what is this, because we have studied all these things up to now. So we'll only try to recap whatever we have studied. Now karma lakshana bhakta. That is, we have to all understand that without devotion to God, karma yoga is not possible. So bhakti in the form of karma yoga is called karma lakshana bhakti. So in the karma yoga, what is that we have studied? Karta. Karta is for doing various actions. Anybody who is doing an action is a karta. Whenever you do an action, when you do a kind of karma, then you will have to have a karma pala. Karta is the person who is doing various actions. He is doing various karmas. The result of doing those actions is a karma palam. The karma palam can be favorable, unfavorable, or terrible, maybe disappointing also. Then when it comes, he becomes a bhokta because he is the experience of the karma palam. Okay, I think there's some. Just hold on. There's some kind of. Okay, now I think it should be fine. Okay. So as a karta, what we should do when you're looking at karma lakshana bhakti means dedicate all the karmas to God. Ishvara arpana bhavana has to be cultivated. Okay. And then every experience is a karma phalam. Whatever you are getting is an experience. You do your action. You are getting something in return. That is an experience that you are going to get, and accept whatever comes as a karma phalam. And as a bhokta, you should have a prasada bhavana. And when you experience, I got this from the Bhagavan, this is what I did, this is what I got from Bhagavan, so I am supposed to accept that as a prasada bhavana. So these are very important points of karma yoga. Karma yoga is, you will have to do the karma. There will be karma phala which can be favorable, unfavorable, etc., etc. And then when you are doing a thing, you dedicate it to Ishvara. And whatever comes back, you accept the karma phalam as a Ishvara prasada. So that prasada bhavana has to be cultivated. Then prasada bhavanaya sakama anushtamam. So now if you look at that way, there are two stages karma yoga also. Bhagavan is going to talk about these two things also in the 12th chapter. One is Prasada Bhavaya Sakama Anushtanam. What is Sakama Anushtanam? I am now driven by selfish desires. I want to first get a car, I want to buy a house, I want this, I want that. So you have got lot of personal desires that to be fulfilled. There's nothing wrong in that. You continue with the worldly pursuit because everybody is born in this world. We have to continue worldly pursuits. But the first stage when you're wanting to get into a spiritual journey is that you continue with everything. You buy, you be very, very materialistic in this world. First thing is that it is Ishvara, whatever I am getting is a prasada from the Bhagavan. So you say that I purchased, I got a new house, beautiful, fantastic $1 million house. It's a Bhagavan prasadam only I got. I got a son, my children. I got a grandson. I got a grandson. Prasada by Bhagavan. He is called Ram Prasad or Krishna Prasad or Venkatesha Prasad. We ultimately say that Prasada Bhavana has to come, thinking that everything that we have got is a Prasada that has been given by God. So when we are in worldly pursuits, please pursue with whatever you want. But start first cultivating that whatever I have got is a Prasada. First is that. Second thing is that Ishvara Arpana you have to do. That is, first stage you are selfish. The second stage you are now moving away from selfishness to whatever I want to do it for the purpose of Paropakaram. Initially, I am only taking care of myself. Beyond some time, I am become 35, 40 years. I got all the comforts in life. I got everything. Now I realize what is the purpose of life. And I feel, okay, I can do some more things. I can do something better for the society. I can do something for somebody else who is struggling. Then it becomes a kind of a giving. That is initial. First thing is, Prasada Bhavana is only taking for my need. Second stage you go to Ishvara Arpana. When you go, you start giving. You become a Paropakara Karmani, Nishkama Karmani. You are not attached to the Kama, but you are doing it for sake of somebody else. Pancha Mahayajna Rupa Karmani. Selfishness will all continue to come down. So what happens is that you may have to start moving from initially doing a karma for the sake of selfishness. From karma, you start moving into Prasada Bhava. From Prasada Bhava, you also start in Sakama Karma to Nishkama Karma. Then what happens is that your selfishness, that attitude that you are going to have, is going to continuously come down. Okay. Now, if you look at Karma Lakshana Bhakta, Bhagavan repeats often. What is that he has told? Arjuna, right from the second chapter, even now, even 18th chapter, is going to say. Bhagavan will say that first you become a Karma Yogi. Okay. He says continuously, harps on that. He says that you are only fit to be a Karma Yogi. Sannyasa Yoga is not very, very easy. You have to be a Karma Yogi. So Bhagavan will continue to say till the 18th chapter. So Bhagavan again repeats this Karma Yogi important. As a Karta, Yatyat Karma Karoti Tattat Akilam Sambhotavardanam. He said, whatever karma I do, I am first giving Ishvara Arpanam. Then we also say, Kaya Navaja, Manasyandrayarva, Dhyatmanava, we do some thing and then we put everything into Krishna Arpanamastu. So that is the attitude we need to have. So dedicate everything as a karta to Bhagavan. One. Secondly, welcome whatever comes and never protest or complain about what is coming to you and be a bhokta. Yeah, it has come to me. Yes, I accept it. That is the thing. So this particular mindset that you cultivate, what Bhagavan has been talking in those initial chapters is called Mat Karma Kriti. The first word of the Shloka, Mat Karma Krit, Mat Paramahano. So the above is called Mat Karma Kriti. So Karma Yoga becomes Bhakti. And from this, though this particular way of how you move in Karma Yoga, this becomes a Bhakti. This is a form of Bhakti. So when I talk about Karma Lakshana Bhakta, he is going to move in this direction and become a Karma Lakshana Bhakta. So this Karma Yoga becomes a Bhakti. And from this particular state, you now start graduating to Upasana Rupa Bhakti. Okay. Now, what is Upasana Rupa Bhakti? You are graduating from Karma Lakshana Bhakti. And in the Karma Yoga, your entire actions were outward. You were only external world you were interacting. Even when you are doing a kind of Paropakara, you are doing it for outsiders. You are not doing anything for yourself inside. In the case of Upasana Rupa, you are going to move from outside to inside. 6th chapter, Bhagavan has told about Atma Sanyama Yoga. Some of us have done around 60 sittings of Dhyanam. What we are doing, we are trying to go inside. We are trying to understand what we are. So the Upasana Rupa Bhakti is going to be Atma Sanyama Yoga, primarily focused on Dhyana, meditation, Upasana, etc. And making the mind, instead of going outside, mind and Indriyas, you are going to stir it inwards. So that becomes a Upasana Rupa Bhakti. Okay. Then Upasana Rupa Bhakti also, there are two things. One is Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam. Now, what is that Bhagavan has told? What is that Arjuna is now seeing? Arjuna is seeing only Krishna in one single Rupam. So, Eka Rupa Darshanam, or he can meditate on the Krishna that he is seeing, and that is Eka Rupa Ishvara Dhyanam. Supposing that same Arjuna had a maturity and he is able to have the Vishwarupa Darshanam, and he is able to also do Dhyanam in terms of Vishwarupa and looking at everything in this world is Bhagavan, that it becomes Aneka Rupa Ishvara Dhyanam. So these both the Dhyanams are Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam, where you have a form, and in that form, either is single form or a multiple form, Aneka Rupam, you are able to connect with the primary thing, and you are at the level of Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam. So, Nirguna Brahma Dhyana means you are going to go beyond forms and shapes. You are going to look at the Parabrahman, because when you start looking at the self is having nothing. It is formless, it is timeless. So that's what we have studied about Atma. So one has to graduate from Saguna Ishvara, Saguna Brahma Dhyanam to Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam. And Saguna Brahma Dhyanam can be, that is, first is Ekarupa Dhyanam, and then it can go to Anekarupa Dhyanam, and then you can go to Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam. To have Ekarupa Dhyanam, that we want to worship him as Lord Krishna, we have our Lord Rama, we have to understand again that what I am seeing is a form which is that of the Ishvara or Parabrahmam or that Vishwarupam. He is also that, but I am seeing in this particular form. That understanding should be there. Then only we will worship Ishvara, or we will not curse somebody who is going to Shiva temple. There are some people who curse people who go to Shiva temple, or somebody will say that you are going to Kali temple. Now, why are you going there? No, all those kinds of talks will not be there, because everybody can select their own form for prayer. So, inquiring into Nirguna Brahmam is Jnana Yoga. What is Jnana Lakshana Bhakti? The third form of Bhakti, study of Vedic scriptures, Vedanta, Gita, Upanishads. Okay, now we are all doing it, understanding nature of God. That principle from chapter 7 to chapter 12, we are doing that. And then, based on that, doing Vedanta Vichara, Shavana, Manana, Nidhyasana, is all called Jnana Yoga. Okay, then at Saguna level, a difference between Jiva and Ishvara will exist, because I am praying to Bhagavan, Bhagavan is that, I am here. So Jiva is there, Ishvara is there. At Nirguna level, difference between Ishvara and Jiva will go away, and then you become Aham Brahmasmi. This is the high level understanding that we need to know in terms of how we are going to understand whatever we have done so far. So to conclude, Bhakti Yoga is not a particular sadhana that I just go and then chant something or something. You know, our concept of Bhakti could have been different to many of us. Some of you may be perhaps aware of all these things. Bhakti Yoga is only Karma Lakshana Bhakti plus Upasana Rupa Bhakti plus Jnana Lakshana Bhakti. So that is what is Bhakti Yoga, for which he is laying a foundation here. Okay. So I just thought this is the most important thing that all of us should keep in mind when we are now transitioning into the next chapter. Okay.
Very beautifully explained, sir. No.
I'll conclude this sloka. Just give me a minute. I'll conclude this sloka because we are running short of time. But I thought this summary is very important as we start transitioning into the next chapter, and also understanding this sloka in particular, because I found that this sloka is a very, very deep sloka. Okay, so mat karma kril. Mat karma kriti. You do my karma. I think all of you are very, very clear about what is that. Mat paramaha. So we had the Purushartha, we have talked about it. He's telling Mat paramaha means that you keep me as the goal. That is what he's telling. Mat paramaha. What is the goal of you? Goal of us may be some at the initial level, may be pursuing that I want to become so, I want to become CEO, I want to go, all those kinds of goals. But now at this stage of Jignasu, Mat paramaha. You have to keep me. That is, Bhagavan says, keep me as your goal. Mat bhakta, be my bhakta. And what kind of bhakta? We have seen karma lakshana, upasana lakshana, and jnana lakshana. Mat bhakta, sangha varjita, come out of all attachments and understand that ananya chintayanto mam yejana parjapasate Tesham Nityavayuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. If you are like the Ananya Bhakta, he says, I take care of you. Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So for you, your dependence need not be, I have to depend on my property here, I have to depend on my bank balance here. No, Bhagavan says, you depend on me. There's no other need for you to depend on anybody else when you are at this stage. And he says that Sangha Vajjitaha, come out of all attachments. Nirvairaha Sarvabhuteshu, do not have enmity with anything in my creation. If you are able to get this particular mindset and if you are able to move in this direction towards bhakti, saha, those people, mameti pandava, they will reach me, they will praveshtum. Otherwise, he'll be a jiva here looking at Vishwarupa Darshana, but here, mameti pandava, they will just get into me. That is what Bhagavan says. So with this, we'll conclude this shloka. I think I laid the foundation for the next chapter also with this, and we'll conclude. And one of you can chant this particular closing thing, and then we'll continue to close for today. Om Tat Saditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sauvate Vishwarupa Darshana Yogo Nama Ekadashodhyayah.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे विश्वरूपदर्शनयोगो नाम एकादशोऽध्यायः।
Om Tat Sat. So I'll just chant. Nahau Vedairna Tapasa Nadhaneन न चेज्जया शक्य एवो विदो द्रष्टुं दृष्टवानसि मायता भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्यः अहमेवो विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप मत्कर्म मत्परमः मद्भक्तः संगवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव। ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे विश्वरूपदर्शनयोगो नाम एकादशोऽध्यायः। ओम तत्सत्। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।